Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of Pan the Organizer. Today I'm reviewing the brand new MJJC Foam Cannon Pro V3. So, is this one worth the high asking price? Is it truly the best in the MJJC lineup? Because MJJC is known for amazing foam cannons that produce a thick amount of snow foam. So you're gonna find out, we're gonna see this in a demo. We're gonna talk about the value, the build quality, what comes in the box, and more importantly, we're gonna be comparing it to the other foam cannons in the MJJC lineup. So the ones that you already know that I've reviewed on this channel, this is the Foam Cannon Pro V2. And also the very popular Foam Cannon S V3. So what are the differences between the foam cannons and which one ultimately is worth your hard-earned money? The results or the conclusion is probably going to shock a lot of you because it's going to be different compared to everything else you've seen maybe in other reviews. So you're going to want to stay tuned until the end to find out which of these three is the one I recommend the most and why. By the way, quick disclaimer, this is not a sponsored video. Nobody paid for this video. MJJC did not send this to me. I ordered this myself from my friends over at Carzilla here in Canada. By the way, I'm going to leave the links to all the tools, products, and equipment in the description under the video for you guys to check them out. So all you have to do is sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. So let's dive right into it. First of all, let's get to the elephant out of the room. This is very expensive. So 110 USD at the moment that I'm filming this video in late September of 2025. These ones here, the MJJC Pro V2, this one goes for roughly 89 USD. And the Foam Cannon S V3, this one goes roughly for 86, 87 USD. Both of these foam cannons you can currently get on Amazon or on other websites. Again, I'll leave the links in the description. This one here for now is available on Carzilla in Canada, in the US on the MJJC website. Eventually it'll probably make it to Amazon, but at the moment of this video, not quite yet. So 110 USD. In Canadian dollars, it's between 147 to 157, again, Canadian dollars. So check the links in the description. Is it worth the money? First of all, let's talk about the build quality. So out of all three, does it have the best build quality? Well, for the foam cannon itself, yes, absolutely, because this time they upgraded this to fully stainless steel body. Just look at that. So the precision of build is amazing. So even more resistant to corrosion. The Pro V2, if we look at it here, this one had a brass body. So although still very good, right? And this one I've been using for a few years now and it's still like new. Well, obviously stainless steel is the more desirable higher end material. Now you still get a bit of brass. If we look here in the back, this M22 style quick connection still has a bit of brass, but you get the 1/4 inch quick connect that's stainless steel. By the way, talking about this connection, that's what I love about the MJJC foam cannons. Check this out. So this connector, the M22 connector, is a screw-on type. So you can easily access here in the back the orifice that's inside there. So pre-installed from the factory, we're looking at a 1.25 millimeter orifice. I never have to swap these out because I have a good good pressure washer. So I have a Krenzla 1122 TST. That's 2.1 gallons per minute. If you have something, I'm also testing currently the AR630 V2, which is 2.3 gallons per minute. So this is the one we're using in today's demo. But if you have a lower pressured unit, for example, a entry-level Ryobi or a Karcher, something that's 1.2 gallons per minute, 1.3, 1.4, you can swap to one of the supplied orifices. So if we look at what's provided in the box, they give you pretty much all the bells and whistles with the Pro V3. So first of all, the packaging, beautiful box. Look at this. They give you a bit of the instructions in the back type thing. And inside the box, what you guys are going to find are many, many things. First of all, you get different orifices. So this one here is a 1.35. So should you have an even more powered pressure washer, they say something around the 4,000 PSI range, you'd want to use a 1.35. So the bigger the number, the bigger the orifice, so the bigger hole, you're getting more flow, so more gallons per minute, but you're reducing the pressure so that way you don't trip your breaker, right, when you're using your foam cannon. You also get, if you have a lower powered pressure washer, something around 1.2 to 1.4 gallons per minute, if you want more foam output, they give you a 1.1 millimeter orifice. So now you are closing down the orifice, you're getting more pressure. Just be careful if you swap to a 1.1, it might trip your breaker if you only have a 15 amp circuit, because don't forget, with the decrease in size of the orifice, you're increasing back pressure, and so that can increase the amperage that you're getting out of your foam cannon and pressure washer setup, so that could could trip potentially a 15 amp breaker. If you have a 20 amp breaker, no problem. What else do you get? You get extra meshes and filters to replace if you have some clogged ones over time for maintenance. And then you get also 2 O-rings. So the O-rings are to protect the seal in the back from this M22 connector if you ever need replacement. So they give you a lot of stuff in there. What are the other differences? So with this one, now we're talking end of September 2025 when I'm filming this video. This Pro V3 was actually released in early 2025, but the first version, the plastic of the container would easily shatter. Now, I have a friend, you guys probably know him, Keeve, from the Cars with Keeve YouTube channel, and Mike would do drop tests, so he's known worldwide for that at this point. So he takes the foam cannons and does insane drop tests, and on the first drop, it cracked. So it left the bottle shattered, and so MJJC, seeing that video, well, they went back to the drawing board, so kudos to them. They accepted the feedback, and, well, they redone the engineering on this, and now they came out with this. So this is the newest version, and yes, I confirm that it did resist the traditional Keeve drop test this time, so good job, they did update this. By the way, this plastic here is PP plastic. So I'm not a plastics expert, but from a quick search on Google, PP is supposed to be very heat resistant and also quite durable. So it's still a little flexible if I look here on the sides, but it's still pretty rigid, right? So if we look at the other foam cannons in the lineup, so the strongest bottle of them all is from the Pro V2. So this one here is HDPE plastic. Let me try and show you that. I don't know if you can see it on screen because it's white on white, but this is HDPE. So this is the strongest bottle and it's opaque, right? And then you get the weakest plastic, but the most transparent. This is on the SV3. So this is the less resistant of them all. And this one has, can you see this on the screen? I think so. This is PET plastic. So this is transparent and this is very, very flexible. If you can see this, you see how I can flex that. So this is the less durable, however you see through it, and it's pretty awesome. This is a 1 liter container on the SV3. This one also has a full brass body. The rest for the adjustments, you get the horizontal and vertical fan spread. So this one here is going to control how narrow or how wide your spread is outside. And also with the blue section, you can turn the foam cannon to have a horizontal or a vertical pattern. So they all do that, right? And also they all have the knob to adjust how much foam is getting out. So if you want a runnier foam or a thicker foam, I always set mine to maximum foam output because that's why you're using these, right? But note that you can adjust that. The Pro V2 also has a brass body. It has that same quick screw-on, quick connect in the back. You have the adjustments, of course, for the flow. Now this one, compared to the SV3, has a wider mouth. So if we look at the opening here, it is wider compared to the SV3. So this one here, you can see it's still semi-wide, but not as wide. So if we look at both side to side, I think you guys can see, we can tell that the clear version is much smaller compared to the opening of this one, right? So this is still considered a wide mouth, but these are super wide if you want to say it that way. So both have a 1 liter container. It's just different. This one is more stable because it's a shorter, wider base. This one is slimmer and taller, but they both have the same capacity. Now, for the mechanism of opening and closing, the SV3 has the more desirable one because it has, look at this. I don't know if you can see it. So it has just this quick turn and seal. So you put it in, half a turn, and there you go. This is closed. Compared to the Pro V2, this one is just a traditional screw-on style. So this one here, you have to screw it into the threads and to secure it, right? So that's a difference. I prefer this one, and we're going to talk about the closing of the Pro V3 soon. So one cool thing, this one does not have a leak-proof cap, and the Pro V2 does have a leak-proof cap. Now, of course, if you put them upside down and shake them, you're going to get a bit of flow of the liquid out of the front and out of the back. That's normal. It's an open system. All foam cannons do that, but at least the container of this one, when you put it upside down, does not leak anything from inside. Now, if we look at the Pro V3. So this one now is the best of both of these worlds. So you get a semi-transparent bottle. So this is kind of a ghost paintwork on top of the PP plastic. So it's not fully opaque because you can see inside there. It has that quick turn release that I love from the SV3. So you can see those notches there. When you're putting your top, you just do half a turn and boom, it's closed. So I absolutely love that. They did that right. It has the best build quality because of the stainless steel body here. You're still getting the adjustments of the fan spread, how narrow or how wide. You can also do the horizontal and vertical by twisting this. This is very high quality. Of course, you get the adjustment knob up top to give you how much thick or how runny you want that. You get the 1/4" quick connect in the back. Now this one here on the side, you get the markings. It goes up to 1.2 liters or 1,200 milliliters. So that's 200 milliliters more compared to these two. So you're getting more capacity. You're still getting that wide base and so flat bottom so it doesn't tip over. So this is the most stable. If you want just pure resistance or durability of the bottle, the HDPE plastic is the more durable of the three, but this is a good hybrid between the pliable and more less impact resistant of the SV3 and the super high impact resistant of this one, all while still having this gorgeous look. So overall, the build quality, I'd say for the top portion, the foam cannon itself is the best of the three. And for the bottle, it's midway because obviously, again, Pro V2 is the best bottle in my opinion, and the SV3 is the weakest bottle. So here you're getting looks, but you're still getting resistance. They're all resistant to chemicals regardless. If you use an acidic snow foam or an alkaline snow foam or a pH neutral, I've had no issues with any of them. And by the way, the foam production of these three is so similar, you'd be hard pressed to find a difference. So just based on foam output alone, the three I would consider on the same level. These out of the box are the foam cannons that produce the most foam on the market without any modifications needed. And of course, keep in mind, there are many factors, right, that influence the amount of foam that you're getting, the thickness and the richness of the snow foam. So the quality of the shampoo that you're using or type of snow foam, the dilution ratio of that snow foam, the type of foam cannon you're using, because not all foam cannons produce the same amount of foam, the pressure washer you're using, the higher the GPM, so gallons per minute of water output, the better foam you're getting. So the weaker units like the 1.2 gallon per minute Karchers or Ryobis of this world, 1.2 to 1.4, don't expect the same foam output. It's going to be necessarily runnier because you're not having as much flow from your pressure washer. So the higher GPM units like the Active 2.0, Active 2.3, the AR630, AR630 V2, the Krenzla units, all those produce 2 gallons per minute or more. So necessarily you're going to get more foam output. It's just the way physics work. And last but not least, once again, is the type of water you're using. So if you're using deionized water or reverse osmosis water or distilled water, whatever you're using, the higher quality water will necessarily also lead to more suds and more foam. If you have very hard water where you live, like something crazy over 100 to 300 to 400 ppm or more of water hardness, well, obviously you're going to get less foam output. You're going to get less suds in your bucket with your shampoo as well. That's just the way things work. Now today, I'm not using my water deionizer, so I'm going to turn it off so you guys can see what it does with my normal water, which is close to 180 ppm, which is considered hard water. So you're going to see how it does, but keep in mind I have a very good pressure washer. So your foam output will be a little less or more runny if you're using a weaker powered pressure washer for water flow. So just keep all those variables in mind, right? But if we're comparing foam cannon to foam cannon in your same setup, necessarily if you use an MJJC, you're always going to get more foam compared to a cheaper foam cannon or foam cannons that don't have the same type of sandwich mesh material in there. So the type of meshes that you're also getting in your foam cannon makes a big difference. And also don't forget the orifice. So again, these all come with a 1.25 millimeter orifice pre-installed, which is the one that's fine if you have a decent pressure washer. But if you have something that's weaker, you can always swap to the 1.1 millimeter orifice. All you need is a flathead screwdriver to swap it out. In the back here, as you guys saw when I unscrewed this, and it's a simple swap, takes just a few seconds, and you're going to increase your foam production. Just make sure it doesn't trip your breaker, so do some tests, right? And you should be good to go. Now, So the build quality, yes, as I said, this is the best for the top portion. The bottle is mid-tier because they have this one that's better in my opinion and this one that is the weakest from the SV3. But as an overall package, is this the best foam cannon on the market right now? In my opinion, yes. For build quality alone, I would also include the more expensive Griot's Garage Boss foam cannon. That one is pure stainless steel construction, like billet, whatever they call it there. That's amazing. It has that HDPE, very hard plastic for the bottle itself. It has all the bells and whistles that you can imagine and just amazing quality overall. But if you guys want something different and maybe a little less expensive, that's just as top tier in everything, build quality, foam production, all that good stuff, well, the MJJC Pro V3 is hard to beat. Now, which one of the three, though, will I recommend? Again, stay tuned till the end because I think the answer might shock a few of you, or at least say like, I always have your best interest in mind, and I want you guys to have the best possible decision based on your budget and to make sure you make the right purchasing decision once again. So let's first start by getting one thing out of the way right now is let's do the demo. So what we're going to do, I'm going to use the Clean by Pandy Organizer shampoo that can also be used in a foam cannon at a 1:10 dilution ratio. That's typically the dilution ratios you're going to use with traditional snow foams or shampoos. You can adjust that, follow the instructions on the label of the product, or you can add more of the shampoo if you want more foam. If you want a runnier foam, because it's a personal preference, right? You can add less shampoo. The thickness of the foam does not equate to more cleaning power, all right? So what you want is good cling and you want good dwell time, and then you rinse off. But more thick doesn't lead to more clean, guys. That's just a visual thing for those who prefer a fluffier snow foam. So let's add what we're gonna do, 20 ounces of water, 2 ounces of the shampoo. That's roughly 590 mils or 600 mils of water to put numbers that are easier to understand, with 60 milliliters of water, so a 1:10 dilution ratio in the foam cannon, and we're gonna spray on the vehicle so you guys can see the thickness of this, because it's pretty identical to the other two if you've seen the video so far. So let's dive into that demo, and then we'll come back for the conclusion that, again, might shock you guys, but you're gonna be pretty happy to hear, because yeah, your hard-earned money is important that you spend it at the right place. All right, guys, so we took the Clean by Pandy Organizer shampoo. We measured 2 ounces in this measuring cup. So we're going to combine that with 600 milliliters of water inside the MJJC Foam Cannon V3, Pro V3, should I say. So this gives us the 1:10 dilution ratio. Of course, they all have this beautiful flexible tip with a ball at the end. So regardless of which angle you're in, it's always going to take up the solution correctly. So put that in there, give it a swirl. You can flip it upside down. As you can see for now, no leaks are coming out of this. You might get a bit here and here in the back, that's normal. But other than that, from this cap here, the solution doesn't leak. So always mix your solution correctly. And now, today I'm using the AR630 V2 pressure washer. So that one here is 2.3 gallons per minute. Here is the Quiver gun from I'm Josh V. Fantastic gun. I actually super love this. It has this push connect style. So all you do, that's it. You connect your gun to your pressure washer, and then to release, you just pull this. It goes out super quickly. So I just love what it does. So let's turn the pressure washer on. Then I'm going to foam this on. Again, maximum foam output on the valve here so you guys can see it. I'm going to bring you in closer so you guys can have a look at the foam output. Oh, that's a ridiculous amount of foam. So again, as far as foam cannons are concerned, MJJC out of the box is impossible to beat. Some can get close to this, but I mean for a stock setup, let me bring you in closer for a zoom, and you guys can see how thick that is. That is just nuts. Of course, the shampoo also plays a big role. This is known to produce thick shaving cream like texture. So as long as you have a good foam cannon and a good pressure washer, Look at that. That's just ridiculous. Look at the cling. We got that dual layer surfactant that you can see. See that front one sliding down and the one in the rear clinging on. So we're getting some good dwell time. Now, let me bring you in so you can see this in real time. Oh, guys, you know how excited I get with these things. Check this out. Isn't that ridiculous? So, yeah, you could definitely reduce the amount of foam because this is a lot. Look at that. So definitely no issues in foam production. Great lubrication with the Clean by Pan shampoo. Just look at that. And you're getting that thick shaving cream like texture. So yeah, great job MJJC. Definitely no issues with the foam quality on this one. So what did you guys think of the demo? I think if an image is worth 100 words or 1,000 words, I think a video is worth 1,000,000. So clearly no issues with this. The foam production is just insane. And by the way, again, you'd be hard pressed to find the difference in foam production with the Pro V2 or the SV3 foam cannons, because all three are top tier. This is God tier level of foam cannon, of foam production, right? So the build quality, I think, is where a little bit of that is going to come into play. So if you guys want all the bells and whistles, you want all the O-rings, you want the different orifices, you want the stainless steel body, you want this bigger capacity container at 1.2 liters compared to the other two, which is 1 liter. You want this larger base. You like the PPE plastic. You like the PP plastic on this one compared to the HDPE or the PTE plastic on the transparent SV3. You like the wider neck, you like that quick turn. I mean, this has all the latest technology from MJJC, so it's a no-brainer, but it comes in at a price tag of 110 USD at the moment of this video, so it is quite expensive. Now, there are less expensive foam cannons on the market, obviously, so the SV3 coming in at roughly 86, 87 USD, or the Pro V2 coming in at 89 or 90 USD at the moment of this video. So these are less expensive. You're still getting super high quality. I'll leave another inexpensive alternative, the Raincovo, in the description that produces almost the same type of foam as this. Doesn't have necessarily that same build quality or the same look as the MJJCs, but is quite popular. However, which one of these three would I get if somebody wants an MJJC foam cannon? Well, the answer again might shock you, and I'll leave the links in the description. But none of these. What pan? Yep, none of these. Which one would I recommend? This one, guys. So the Quiver foam cannon. This is made in the same factory as the MJJCs, and this is essentially a Pro V2. So not only do they look the same, they perform identical, but the biggest difference is the price tag. This one here coming in at $65.99 USD. You can find it on thehouseofrags.com, or you can even find it on Amazon now. I just saw the listing, so I'll leave the links in the description, but you're getting it from the same factory, and this is way less expensive, right? You're looking again, $65.99 USD. This is probably the best value foam cannon on the market. So you're getting that HDPE plastic container, 1 liter in size, but super rugged, super durable. You're getting that wide mouth connection for the foam cannon container, so that wide mouth opening. You're still getting that pliable pickup tube with the nice ball, so regardless of the angle in which you have the foam cannon angled at, it's still going to go to the bottom and suck up the liquid. You're getting that brass construction. You're getting the easy M22 style quick connect in the back. You can adjust the fan spread. You can tilt it horizontal or vertical. Of course, you can adjust the amount of foam output that you're getting. Basically, you're getting all the bells and whistles. It also looks great. It has this nice Quiver branding in the front, but I like this teal color. Goes well with the teal gun from the Quiver pressure washer gun that you guys saw. It has that 1/4-inch quick connect in the back. It's just an amazing, but for the price, again, what we're looking for is value for money. So these three, they're amazing. You can't go wrong. I have all three. I have so many foam cannons. I have foam cannon battle videos on my channel if you want to see other ones, like Grio's Garage, like Adams, the active foam cannon. I'm looking there. We have the chemical guys. Listen, I have so many in the garage. It's ridiculous. I have a dozen foam cannons. So I've tested pretty much all of them on the market. And for my money, this one would be the choice. I have a full review of it on my channel if you want to see it in action. So same foam output as all of these, because this is an MJJC Pro V2, by the way. You're getting that same MJJC build quality, but at just a very inexpensive price that makes it hard to beat. So if you guys have tried the Quiver foam cannon or any of these three, by the way, leave your thoughts and impressions and how good or bad your experience has been with them in the description, in the comment section, so all of my viewers can have a good discussion, and so everybody else can also see what you guys' feedback is. I always love to read your comments, and you guys know I also reply if you have any questions. But yeah. So is this the best foam cannon on the market right now, the Pro V3? In my opinion, yes, absolutely. With the Boss foam cannon from Grio's Garage, those are probably my two favorite ones. Build quality, appearance, look, performance, all that kind of stuff. But as far as value for money, once again, the Quiver foam cannon right now is the one to beat. And yeah, just tremendous quality. Thumbs up to Josh for coming up with this. Guys, if you want to see the review of the Quiver, check it out on the channel. I also have videos on tips and tricks on how you can get better foam in your setup, regardless of which pressure washer you have with foam cannon, which shampoo you're using, tips and tricks, and of course over 1,100 videos on detailing in general, product reviews, tutorials, how-tos, tips, tricks, all that good stuff. So yeah, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, consider clicking the subscribe button under this video. That way you'll subscribe to my channel and never miss my future videos, so you guys can continue to learn more about car detailing, all the tips, tricks, products, equipment, tutorials, equipment reviews, all that good stuff, right? So thanks for being there. Thanks for watching. And in the meantime, don't forget, keep it tight, keep it clean, and I'll see you on the next one.